So hello everyone on the next working group pro meeting. I'm your host today and Suleiman will take notes. Agenda for today is following. At the beginning I will present you the current status and the next priorities, and later Suleiman give you some update about accessing job details. So at the beginning, let's have a look what we have done in the recent week. As you can see, 24 pull requests were merged, quite a lot. And now let's go to our dashboard. We have a lot of issues into accept column. First one is about preparing post-submit flow for components. It was done, I think, for this UI API layer component, and I think that here we have more information that we added not only post-submit jobs for UI API layer, but also some renaming was done. For example, previously we had pipeline SH script. Now we noticed that probably better name will be build SH, and some other things were changed. Also, migration guide was updated. And next issue was about Kyma integration jobs. It sometimes fail because of some allocation problems. And right now we have a following solution that we loop over several EU zones and to try to avoid that problem. Next thing is also very important. We define branch protections for the test infra repository. So let's have a look on the test infra, and in the pro config yam, and on the bottom of that file we have branch protections defined, and for the test infra repository we mark that required status checks are required. And this is very important to remember, that whenever you add new job for the test infra repository, so for example you add a new build pack, for example, you need to add it here, because without that status will be sent to the pull request, but even it will be failed, developers still will be able to merge such pull requests. So very important thing to remember about that. Okay, and we also have done some refactoring. For example, some scripts for provisioning GKE cluster was moved to a different place. We also add testing SH to be executed on GKE integration pipeline. And generally, the whole story about GKE integration tests are already finished, but still we have a lot of improvements in that area. We also define, sorry for scrolling, we define job for validating tools project. So in the test infra repository, in the development, we have a tools project, and we define job for validating if everything is fine there. We also start migrating some components, for example, remote environment broker. Another important issue is that we finished documentation how to define pipeline for component. So let's have a look very quickly on that document. In the docs pro, we have a migration guide, and here the whole process is described. We already defined some jobs for the test infra repository. So let's have a look at what we already have. It probably will be in the Pro jobs test infra. And so we have jobs for validating all build bugs. We have tests for checking job definitions, and that test just run all tests which are placed in tools jobs. So all tests will be executed by that job. And we also have validation jobs. First one, validate all shell scripts, and the second one, validate configuration files, that is plugins yam, config yams, and all files in the jobs directory. And last thing, we have to rename all our jobs, because previously our approach was to use slashes, but in some cases slashes cause problems, for example when displaying logs. So we decided to migrate from slashes to hyphens. Okay, that's all what we already have in the accept column. Right now I would like to show you my very short presentation. And can you see my slides?
Yeah.
Thank you. So previously, we presented that our next goal is to enable migration of components. And we have 3 prerequisites. And as you can see, all of them are already done. So we have at least one working example. Documentation is provided, and the test infra repository has the. So now our current goals are following. First of all, we have to help in the migration. We have an epic for that gather all issues related to the migration of components. And we also have 3 very important topics. First is about accessing logs from jobs. So this is in progress, and today Suleiman give you an update about that. We have also another story about providing metrics from Pro to see how our system is behaving. This is also in progress. And the last one is to use the dedicated gcloud project for Pro setup, because currently it's far from being perfect. And this is also in progress. And that's all. Do you have any questions to what I presented? If no, I'm hand over to the Suleiman, who is going to present access to the jobs details. Suleiman, are you ready?
Yes. Could you please stop sharing? Yeah. All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, this week I've been working on this, providing easy access to the job logs from PR view. And for that, on the Kubernetes sites, they are using a couple of toolings like Kubernetes to fetch the logs from Google Cloud Storage. And then they are using Spyglass. Actually, this is the product, the component that they would like to migrate to from Kubernetes. So for now, they only have it to see the job details from deck. And but in the future, it will be used to view the jobs directly from the PR as well. but it's not there yet. They have a tracking issue, and I'm also on track to see the progress here. And this is one of the the tasks here, saying that they need to replace the Kubernetes links with Spyglass links on GitHub PRs. So unfortunately, since it's not there yet, I had to deploy both Kubernetes and also Spyglass. So this right now it's on the PR, but I was testing it on production cluster today. That's why I have some things to show you. For example, from the deck, now we have this funny looking eyes. These are actually links to Spyglass. So let's check how it looks like. When you click on them, it fetches some metadata. Actually, these are all come from the production bucket that we have, that we are using for the logs. What it does it from the GitHub UI. Actually, I can show you one of them that I tried. Here, as you see, for the other jobs, we don't have a details link, whereas we have for this test infra validate scripts, because I was trying. When we click on that, it will lead us to the Kubernetes view. Actually, it doesn't have much here because it was successful, but still, when we click on the logs, we can see the logs here. Just saying no issues detected. These are the logs from the pod. And there is only one problem that I need to solve here. When we click on the artifacts, it actually goes to this GCS web, which is another lightweight tooling that they are using to browse GCS buckets. And for that, I am having a problem on the production cluster. But to show it how it looks like, this is the one from my test cluster. And when you click on that link, actually, this will show up. And this will show you all the logs for even for the init containers. For example, these are these clone logs and started and finished. They are all coming from the init containers that Prow injects. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you.
I have a question. In the Spyglass, do you have a possibility to also display logs from the init containers?
I don't think so. I couldn't find anywhere.
So
but
because
that should be available. That's probably one of the tasks here, because there are just a lot of tasks that they are not done yet for Spyglass, and they must be including that one as well.
Okay, so could you summarize why one more time why we want to right now use both Kubernetes and Spyglass, because of the accessing to the init containers logs, and
no, not
else?
Only that, but for this details link as well. Right now we can't add this details link for Spyglass. That's why we must use Kubernetes. Otherwise, Spyglass will be just available from here.
Okay, and so it is not configurable to change the link to the details, yes? So it is hard
because they are parsing it using the Kubernetes link. That's why we have to change the code inside Prow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really funny that they are using something from Kubernetes. Actually, they are parsing using this build, which is not a part of this link. That's why we can't just use it here. But once they replace it with Spyglass, then we can just get rid of Kubernetes as well.
Okay, and do you know if they have any kind of estimation when they finally replace Kubernetes with Spyglass?
I don't know. Actually, I'm tracking this issue, but looks like lately there hasn't been anything going on here, at least for the last month. But we can ask them on Slack. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Suleiman, for your presentation. It was last point in our agenda. Do you have any other topics you want to discuss right now? If no, thank you for attending today's meeting, and we will see on next Friday. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.